From the Gospel of Matthew, we hear, "Do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." From Luke, "Do you suppose that I came to give peace on earth? I tell you, not at all, but rather division." And from John, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." These scripture readings are apparently extremely contradictory. How do we rectify these perspectives of sword, division, otherworldly peace? They sound so anti-Prince of Peace. In essence, how do we come to peace with peace? We get a hint from the readings in the Bible. If we approach the text as we do as metaphysicians, not as literal commandments, but as a sacred journey of human thought, the Bible a journey of our spiritual journey, we see a wonderful progression of consciousness. In the Old Testament, we have other definitions of peace, but there is an underlying pattern of peace that is a feeling, that is an emotion. It's a byproduct of good behavior, just as we read in the invitatory. We even have dozens of references to peace offerings, as if we give and do right, we will feel at peace. Do good, get peace. You can almost think of Job. You suffer everything, and then if you obey properly, in the end, ojalá, you will be at peace. As if we make peace, we earn peace, or should always feel at peace. But then in the New Testament, we sense a shift in the meaning as we read in the responsorial. Again, there are other definitions, but there are more references to a peace as a blessing to others. Peace is described as a state of mind, an attribute of God. The difference is subtle, but it's profound. We are moving, as we say in psychology, from a trait to a state. Instead of something that pops up every now and then, to something that has lasting impact, requiring less effort. A place where we live more than a place we visit. Peace becomes less a feeling and more of a fabric. The enormous gift is that this liberates us from our own expectations and temporal reactions. I have two stories to illustrate this. Some of you know my wife. Every once in a while she pops out with these amazing metaphysical phrases, and she doesn't really intend to, but they always stop me in my tracks. She's a pediatric neuropsychologist, and her special gift is that she's a child whisperer. She thinks like a kid. She feels like a kid. She just gets how they think and feel. And lately she's been exploring her own impact and her legacy. She's considering branch offices in foreign countries. And so just out on a walk the other day, she blurts out, because there's this family that the parents were not particularly being appreciative of their child. And she said, the kid always knows. And I did that usual thing. What? What? And this is really blasphemous, because in the field of psychology, it's the analyst who knows, the therapist who knows, the social worker who knows, the doctor, the pediatrician, the teacher, not the family, it's not the parents, and certainly not the child, not the kid. But you can feel that metaphysical, spiritual truth under there. The kid always knows. In her case, it means how they learn, where their strengths are, where their challenges are, their preferred modes of learning. Even if they can't voice it, and even if it comes with our current labels of autism, spectrum disorder, emotional regulation, dyslexia, anxiety, depression, etc., 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 etc. When the child is aware and acknowledges their own truth, not the labels, but their own truth, there is deep peace. And the child gets it, because the child knows. And she hears comments like, now I see how to move forward, not only academically, but in the world at large. Moving from a trait to a state. I'm not sure where I got this next passage, but it says that peace is not the absence of conflict, but a state of completeness, of wholeness, well-being. In Hebrew, it's the essence of shalom. And it can be experienced both internally as peace with God and externally in relationships with others. Externally, like the Old Testament. Internally, like the New Testament. My other example is from another minister that many of us went to seminary with, Reverend Carolyn Swift. And she writes a newsletter. And I asked her permission if I could use part of this today, because it involves people she and I both have a history with. And she wrote recently about her late husband, he's now in spirit, actor Mark Hamill. He was also a mentor of mine when we all worked together at Arena Stage many, many, many years ago. And he is in spirit. But this is the story. She writes, one holiday season, when Mark was recovering from a below-the-knee amputation, a child of about 4 years of age approached him as he sat in his wheelchair, staring at the cassette tapes in a music store. Customers were milling about in a swirl of hectic holiday gift shopping, but only 2 people were in pure stillness: Mark and the child, who stood transfixed by the empty spot where Mark's leg used to be. "You lost your leg?" asked the child. "Yes," said Mark. The child thought about this. "Someone took it?" Mark said, "Yes." And the child thought about this. "You miss it?" "Yes," said Mark. And then a long silence. And then the child, illumined and beaming, pointed to the remaining leg and said, "You still got the other one." "Yes," said Mark. There are well-known holiday stories, what Carolyn calls the not enough stories. Not enough oil in the lamp, like as in Hanukkah. Not enough room in the inn, as in Christmas. Or I might add, why we don't feel at peace. Broken expectations, loss of anything. Oil, a leg, how a child is supposed to learn and where it's supposed to go to college. Or perhaps more personally, a loss of a job, love, health, youth, loved ones, the expectations of how a country is supposed to be, or any disillusionment therein. And yet there is this deep meaningfulness to life. Once there's awareness and acknowledgement of what is, what truly is, how we learn, our physical state, how we serve the best, there is a vast peace of being. And this is what Advent means to me. It's not the feeling of hope, of love, joy, of peace, but the reminder that these are the fabric of life itself, with so much more room in the inn than we might initially feel. So what Master Jesus says is not contradictory at all. It's 2 perspectives of the same thing. The sword and the division are ways of reminding us that there is more than temporal emotional peace. We may feel it now and again, and I hope you do, but it may also evaporate from difficulties, pain, cut like a sword, or in Mark's case, a surgeon's knife, or when our expectations are just not met. Gratefully, there is also a greater, more lasting peace of higher consciousness, part of the fabric of life itself. Jesus highlights, by parable yet again, this crucial difference of perspective. Listen to the passages again. Do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not bring peace, but a sword. Do you suppose that I came to give peace on earth? I tell you, not at all, but rather division. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives. do I give to you. That's one heck of a Christmas present. And to cap it off, the Master adds, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. This is far more than an easing of worry and anxiety. When Jesus said that we must be as little children to get into the kingdom of heaven, I don't think he said meant that we need to be simple or naive or faithful or numb to pain or work harder to achieve your dreams. I think now that he means be fearless in the face of truth. Just as those children I mentioned in the stories. Fearless in the face of truth. Peace is revealed to us when we know and accept that deeper truth. Then we evolve from trying to be at peace and live in the truth that is of peace. Many blessings this Advent season. Let's go dip into the fabric of life, the peace of being.